The stars above Earth shimmered like always, cold and distant. But tonight, something moved between them, huge, slow, and unnatural. From deep space, a formation of ships slipped into the solar system, smooth as oil over water. They didn't come fast. No rushing, no weapons fired. It's just a calm, glowing descent. The world watched in awe. Cameras on satellites, space stations, and civilian telescopes all turned toward them. 20 ships, silver and oval-shaped, moved in a perfect pattern toward Earth orbit. They didn't respond to Earth's hails at first. Then, a single message appeared on all global frequencies, translated in clean, perfect English. We come. In peace, governments went into high alert. But there was no sign of aggression, no energy buildups, no shields raised. Their ships held positions silently above the equator, not even breaking through the atmosphere. From Washington to Moscow, Beijing to Nairobi, world leaders held emergency meetings. The world wasn't ready for war, but it also wasn't ready for peace, not like this. General Marcus Raines stood alone in Observation Room 9. Inside the United Earth Defense Center in Geneva, he stared at the live satellite feed, arms crossed, lips pressed into a tight line. He didn't trust them. Not for a second. He had served during the Belt Rebellion, seen how friendly ships could hide bombs in their cargo bays. The enemy back then hadn't come in peace, but they had said they did. Words were easy. Silence. Though silence was suspicious. A soft knock on the glass door behind him. "Sir," said a young tech officer, stepping in, "the president wants you in the command chamber." The alien envoys requesting formal talks. Rain nodded once, not looking away from the screen. "Tell them I'll be there in 5. As the tech left, Rain narrowed his eyes. He zoomed in on the alien ships. Their design was smooth, no edges or visible weapons. Just silver skin with glowing blue lines running across the hull. Elegant. Too elegant. He whispered to himself. "What are you hiding?" 5 minutes later, Rain entered the chamber. Large monitors filled the room with light, world leaders, and defense heads from every major country appeared as holograms around the long table. The main screen showed a strange figure tall, with pale skin that shimmered like glass. No eyes, no mouth. It wore a long robe, white and flowing like mist. Its voice was soft but carried weight. "We greet you, people of Earth," the envoy said. "We are the Ulith, seek peace, knowledge, and friendship." A few leaders looked relieved. The UN president leaned forward. "What is your purpose in visiting Earth?" The envoy didn't blink. "Our galaxy is vast. We explore, we observe, and sometimes we assist. Your world shows promise and danger. We wish to help guide you. First, we ask for cooperation. Lower your planetary defenses. Open your space gates. Allow us to land." Rain's fingers twitched. The president of the North American Union smiled politely. "Lowering all defenses? That's a very big ask." The envoy bowed slightly. "Fear not, our mission is peaceful." The call ended. Rain didn't speak right away. Turned to the chief of orbital surveillance. "What do we know about their ships?" The man shook his head. "No energy spikes, no visible weapons. We tried scanning them. They're made of some kind of material we've never seen. Blocks most of our tech." Rain clenched his jaw. "They're hiding something." He turned to his assistant. "Rep one of our black drones. No signals, no trails." "General," she asked, "that would be a violation of the peace protocols." "We don't know if it's peace," he said. "We hope it is, but hope's not a plan." By midnight, the drone launched from a hidden base in the Pacific. Black as space, it moved without sound or light. It approached the nearest Ulith ship from below, far beneath their line of sight. Rain watched the feed from the control center. At first, nothing happened. The ship appeared calm, still, almost asleep. Then something caught his eye. "Wait," he said. "Freeze frame. Zoom in underneath the hull." The tech zoomed, and slowly something became visible. A series of small, Slits, like gills, pulsing faintly. Then movement. Inside those slits, something long and sinewy slithered past. The tech whispered, "Is that alive?" Rain leaned forward, his face grim. "Those aren't engines. That's organic. They've got something alive inside the ship." Another screen blinked. One of the Ulith ships was moving. Not fast, but just a few degrees to the left, closer to a high-altitude satellite. Rain stood straight. "Get me a real-time orbital map. Now." On the screen, Earth's defense grid lit up in red dot satellites, laser stations, missile arrays. The Ulith ships weren't random. They were positioning themselves over key locations: communication centers, power grids, weapon hubs. Rain turned to the room. "This isn't a peace formation. This is a strike pattern." Silence fell. One of the commanders whispered, then, "Why haven't they fired?" Rain didn't blink. "Because they want us to blink first, or they're waiting for something." An alert flared across the main monitor. The drone feed went static. "They found it," a tech muttered. Rain nodded. "Pull. Black Ops drones. We can't afford to trigger them yet." Another alert chimed. The Ulith envoy was requesting another broadcast. The president connected. This time the alien's tone had changed. Still but colder. "Have detected unauthorized surveillance near our vessels," it said. "This is a breach of trust," Rain spoke, cutting through the tension. "So is surrounding a planet's defenses." The envoy turned its head. "It's not fast just enough to show acknowledgement. We came for peace," it said. "But if your kind is not ready, perhaps others are." The signal ended. All screens went dark. Rain turned to the room. "They're not here to help us. They're here to test us." "Test us for what?" someone asked. He looked back at the dark sky on the monitor. "Conquest." He walked out of the chamber, pulling a small device from his coat. A long, thin antenna rose as he pressed a button. The device blinked once, then again, in a cold underground. Base buried beneath Europa's ice, a dormant machine stirred. Hidden for decades under a false research station, it hummed with deep, ancient power. Black metal shifted as systems came online. Lights flickered across its surface like waking eyes. A voice, low and metallic, echoed into the void. Blacksky activated. Warship was awake. The drone feed was gone, cut clean, like a knife through wire. Inside the Earth's defense center, alarms stayed silent, but tension filled the room like smoke. General Marcus Rain stood motionless, his eyes locked on the frozen last frame from the drone, the strange slits under the Ulith ship, something moving behind them. He had seen a lot of things in his military career, but nothing like this. Rain turned to the lead technician. "Get me every scan, every byte of data before." The drone was lost. The young man nodded and started pulling files. But Rain's focus shifted to something deeper, a gut feeling. Something was off, not just with the ships, but with the entire visit. The Ulith said they came for peace. But their formation, their behavior, and their hidden creatures told a different story. They weren't explorers. They were waiting. Waiting for what? Suddenly, a new signal appeared on the main screen. A direct transmission from the Ulith. No audio, no video, just a simple message. "Lower planetary defenses. 24 hours. Then integration begins." The room went silent. "Integration?" One of the diplomats whispered. Rain's voice was sharp. "That's not peace. That's surrender." "What?" The president's hologram flickered in. "General Rain, we need a full report. Security Council is panicking. Half of them want to comply. The other half want to strike." Rain rubbed the back of his neck. "Either move will cost us everything. If we shoot first, we start A. War, we might not win. But if we stand down, we open the door and they'll walk right through." He paused, then said, "I activated Project Blacksky." The room went still. The president's voice dropped. "You did what?" Rain didn't flinch. "We need a deterrent, something they don't see coming. Blacksky is Earth's last resort." I won't wait for a city to vanish before we act. The president didn't argue. Far from Earth, in the icy shadows of Europa, the secret warship Blacksky was waking. It didn't look like a normal ship. It was sharp, black, and built for one thing: war. Its AI core, silent for 23 years, came online with a whisper. System check complete. Threat assessment pending. The hull creaked as heat filled the engines. Deep inside, the crew handpicked. Years ago, and frozen in stasis, began to wake. Captain Erin Voss opened her eyes inside a cryopod. She gasped as air filled her lungs, her body shaking. "Status?" she croaked. The AI responded in a calm human voice. "Captain Voss, reactivation confirmed. Ulith fleet detected in Earth orbit. General Marcus Rain has authorized battle." Prep. Erin's heart skipped. She hadn't heard that name in years. Rain, he had once been her superior and her friend. She pulled herself from the pod, her breath fogging the freezing air. "Then it's worse than we thought," she muttered. Back on Earth, the Ulith began their peaceful move. Small drones, like glowing silver insects, began to fall from their ships. They weren't weapons at least not at first. They simply hovered in the air, scanning buildings, people, and cities. The media called them light bugs. Some people even took selfies with them. But Rain knew better. They weren't toys. We're mapping everything. Underground. Bunkers. Power plants. Military bases they were preparing, and the 24-hour clock kept ticking. In the defense center, Rain reviewed the drone's last data. One image made his stomach tighten. It showed the underbelly of the Ulith flagship. Between the slits, just for a second, the drone caught a glimpse of something large, maybe 20 meters long. Coiled and breathing, organic, alien, alive. He enhanced the image. The skin looked like it was made of armored plates, with long tendrils curled around a glowing core. Rain tapped the screen. They're carrying bioweapons, not bombs, not guns. Creatures. The room went cold. One of the analysts asked, "Why would they need monsters if they're so advanced?" Rain's reply was quiet. "Because monsters make fear. Fear makes control easier than war." It's hour 17 of the countdown. The Ulith made another move. They requested an in-person meeting with Earth's leaders. A landing platform was quickly built in the middle of the UN headquarters in Geneva. Thousands watched the broadcast live. From the lead ship, shimmering ramp unfolded, and 3 Uliths stepped onto Earth's soil for the first time. They looked almost human, but not quite. Taller, thinner. Their skin was smooth, like glass. Their eyes glowed faint blue. One held out a hand and spoke into dozens of microphones. "We are your friends. Lay down your weapons. Let go of fear. We will lead you forward." Some cheered. Others hesitated, but Rain watched from the shadows unmoved. His mind wasn't on their smiles. It was on the satellite feeds where 3 more Ulith ships were quietly breaking formation. They weren't landing. They were moving toward Earth's dark side, where military satellites and defense cannons were hidden in silence. "No," Rain said under his breath. "They're not here to talk. This is a distraction." He rushed back to the control room. "Give me visual on defense. Zone Delta now." The screen flickered, then zoomed in on the dark side of Earth. 3 Ulith ships hovered just above. The defense grid silent, unmoving. Then they opened, not like doors, like shells. The ship hulls split in quiet folds. And from inside, large shapes dropped out. Not machines, creatures. Black, long, and fast. With wings, Rain stared. "Sound the alarm," he barked. "We're under attack." But there was no explosion, no fire. No. The creatures didn't destroy anything. They landed on the defense towers and wrapped around them. Moments later, one by one, the towers powered down. The aliens hadn't come to destroy Earth's weapons, they had come to turn them off. Rain slammed a button on the console. "Connect me to Blacksky." Now, the cold voice of the AI filled the room. Link established. Rain didn't waste time. Status: weapons online. Stealth mode active. Captain Voss requests launch authorization. Rain hesitated for a breath, then said, "Launch. Go silent. Park in lunar shadow. Do not engage until my command." Acknowledged. In orbit above the moon, the black warship Blacksky rose through Europa's ice, surrounded by steam and silence. It entered deep space under cloak, completely invisible to the U-leth dot inside. Now fully awake, she stared at the growing shape of Earth in the distance. She could see the Ulith ships, circling like vultures. She turned to the AI. "Tell General Rain," she said, "we're in position, and we brought hell with us." Blacksky hovered in the shadow of the moon, invisible and silent. The Ulith didn't know it was there, not yet. Its black hole absorbed light, sound, and every signal that could give away its position. Captain Aaron Voss stood on the command bridge, fully awake now. Her crew, once frozen in cryosleep, moved quickly at their stations, running system checks, syncing weapons, scanning every Ulith move. "Report," she said. Her XO Lieutenant Damar replied, "All systems green. Stealth holding. Weapons. Hot AI has plotted firing solutions on 3 Ulith flagships if needed." Aaron nodded, eyes on Earth far below. From here it looked calm, but she knew better. Earth was under siege, it just didn't realize it yet. Back on the surface. General Rain walked fast through the defense center. The countdown from the Ulith still ticked. 6 hours left. 6 hours until integration. He didn't like that word. Integration didn't mean peace. It meant absorption. It meant control. The room was tense. Officers watched multiple screens. One showed the UN Plaza, where the alien envoys were still speaking with world leaders. Another showed Earth's dark side, where the defense towers had all gone dark, turned off by the alien creatures. The technicians had tried everything, rebooting systems, switching frequencies. Nothing worked. Those creatures, whatever they were, had plugged in to the defense grid. "They're not just disabling us," Rain said. "They're learning how we work." One of the scientists stepped forward. "General, we've found something. It's in the signal the Ulith used to deactivate our weapons." Rain turned to him. "What kind of signal?" "A carrier pulse. Buried in it, there's code, almost like a virus, but it's alive." The whole room paused. "Alive?" Rain asked. "Yes, sir. Doesn't just copy our systems, it understands them, changes them. It's rewriting our tech from the inside." Rain looked at the screen showing the floating alien drones. Light bugs hovering over cities worldwide, and I'm guessing those things are spreading it everywhere. The scientist nodded slowly. "They're not just watching us," Rain said. "They're seeding the takeover." In Geneva, President Lyle sat in a quiet chamber with the lead Ulith envoy. Cameras were off. This was no longer a show. This was the real meeting. "You said you came for peace," the president said. "But your ships are disabling our systems. It's not peaceful." The Ulith didn't move. Its glass-smooth face tilted slightly. "We came because Earth is at a tipping point. Your species is destructive, unstable. We offer structure, guidance, order." "That's not peace," the president replied. "That's control." The Ulith's glowing eyes narrowed slightly. "You misunderstand," it said. "Control is peace. Without it, you will destroy yourselves." The president stood, fists clenched. "Earth decides its own future." A Ulith didn't rise. "Then Earth will be corrected." The countdown hit 3 hours. Blacksky floated above the far side of the moon, receiving data directly from Rain's encrypted channel. On the command bridge, Captain Voss reviewed the threat map. She pointed to one Ulith ship, marked in red. "This one's moving out of position." "Why?" Her tactical officer zoomed in. "It's moving toward orbit over Nevada. It's Area 16. Aaron froze. Rain's storage facility. She whispered. Area 16 wasn't on any public map. But Blacksky's crew had been briefed. It held humanity's most dangerous tech experimental weapons. AI prototypes and deep storage alien materials recovered over the past 50 years. "We can't let them get it," she said. "Plot interception course." "Ma'am, if we break stealth, the Ulith will know we're here." "I know," Aaron said. "But we can't let them reach that site. If they access it, they'll learn everything we've built to fight them." The warship turned slowly, quiet and black, slipping behind the moon and into open space. The hunt had begun, back on Earth. Rain got the update. Blacksky is moving to intercept Ulith Ship 7. ETA 27 minutes. He exhaled slowly. Good. Then, another alerted new transmission from the Ulith. This time, it was a wide-beam message, sent to every screen on Earth. From TVs to phones to smartwatches, the same image appeared, the lead Ulith envoy staring directly into the camera. The message was short. Your time is up. Welcome the future. Then the sky changed. All at once, the 20 alien ships glowed. Their hulls peeled back like petals, revealing cores pulsing with bluish-white energy. But they didn't fire. Instead, they released thousands of glowing orbs shot out from each ship, spreading across the atmosphere like a silver mist. They weren't weapons. They were infiltrators. Each orb headed for a power station, military base, communication hub, everything that made modern Earth run. And they didn't explode. They landed, attached, began drilling silently into metal, concrete. In circuits, Earth wasn't being attacked. It was being rewired. Rain shouted into the comms. Sound full global alert. Mobilize every remaining unit. Get me satellite control if any still work. Screens flickered. Systems failed. Half the world's networks started going dark. We're losing global command. General, someone cried. Rain didn't panic. He just whispered, "Come on, Aaron. Do something." Captain Voss didn't need to be told. Blacksky arrived above Nevada, engines roaring for the first time in decades. The targeted Ulith ship was already beginning to drop its infiltrators. "Toward Area 16, open fire," she ordered. Blacksky's cannons blazed. Silent beams of blue light tore through space and smashed into the Ulith vessel. The first shot didn't destroy it, but it hurt it. The Ulith ship twisted unnaturally, like something alive. Its outer shell bent in ways metal shouldn't. Then it fired back a bolt of white plasma streaked toward Blacksky. The warships. Shields flared. "Shields holding 78%, shouted the engineer. Voss pointed. "Hit it again. Target the central core." Another shot, then another. The third beam pierced deep and the Ulith ship screamed, not with sound, but with energy. It spun out of formation, flames and silver fluids spilling from its hull, crashing into the Nevada desert with a thunderous boom. Blacksky held position. Aaron Voss stared at the wreckage. "One down," she said. 19 to go. On Earth, Rain saw the satellite feed the Ulith ship spiraling down in flames. People around him gasped. He smiled. We just made first blood. But deep down, he knew the fight wasn't over. This was just the beginning. The war for Earth had begun. The wreckage of the Ulith ship burned in the Nevada desert, a long trail of black smoke twisting into the sky. Flames licked the air. Silver alien fluid boiled on the sand. Captain Aaron Voss stood at the Blacksky's forward viewport, watching. It all happened from orbit. They had done it. They had taken one down, but she didn't smile. "Status?" she asked. Lieutenant Damar read from his console. "Multiple energy signatures from the wreck. Not stable. I think they're trying to destroy the remains." Voss narrowed her eyes. "No, they're hiding something." She turned to the AI core. "Send a stealth probe to the crash site. Full scan. I want to know what's inside that ship before they melt it into goo." Probe launched. The AI responded. Seconds later, a sleek black dart shot from Blacksky's underbelly and dove silently through the atmosphere. On Earth, General Rain stared at the live feed from the crash site. Troops had already been deployed to secure the area, but their equipment was glitching. Radios flickered. Drones refused to fly near the wreck. Still, they moved in. Then the feed from one soldier's helmet suddenly cut out. Static, then black. "Get it back," Rain ordered. "What happened?" Tech called out. "We're getting interference. Something's jamming everything around the wreck." Then, a flicker. One camera came back online briefly. What it showed made Rain freeze. A massive shape crawled out of the wreckage. It didn't walk, it slithered. Long armored, with glowing ridges down its back. At least 20 meters in length. One of the creatures the drone had spotted on the ship's underside, still alive and now loose. It hissed once and vanished into a canyon. Then the signal went dead. Rain clenched his jaw. We've got a runner. Meanwhile, in space, the Ulith had stopped pretending. 19 alien warships turned slowly in orbit, glowing brighter than before. Earth's people, still unsure whether this was war or not, now had their answer. The countdown was over, and the invasion had begun. The silver orbs that had latched onto Earth's infrastructure began pulsing. Power plants exploded. Satellites blinked offline. Even aircraft started falling from the sky as navigation systems collapsed. The world was plunging into silence. Rain activated an emergency global channel. This is General Marcus's reign of Earth Defense Command. This is not a drill. The Ulith are attacking. I repeat, they are not peaceful. Do not trust them. Do not follow their orders. Find shelter. Stay off the grid. This is war. He turned to his cum officer. Patch me into Blacksky. Done, sir. Voss's face appeared, sharp and calm. We've got a bigger problem, Rain said. One of those monsters survived. The crash. It's on the ground and loose. Voss blinked. You want me to go after it? No. I need you to hold orbit. The other 19 ships fire. We need you in place. Voss nodded slowly. Then we pray that thing doesn't reach. A city. The stealth probe reached the Nevada wreckage. The wreck still glowed hot. But inside, something even stranger was happening. The Ulith ship was repairing itself. Black liquid metal reconnected broken pieces. Shattered panels bent back into shape, and in the center behind a thick energy shell was something glowing. The probe zoomed in. A pod, about the size of a truck, suspended in gravity. Inside it, a human, a man, alive, eyes closed, hooked into wires. What the hell? Voss whispered, watching the feed. Lieutenant Damar said, could it be one of ours? Voss shook her head. Not possible. That ship went down minutes ago. Then the pod blinked. A heartbeat monitor lit up. Voss turned to the AI. Compare his face with Earth records. Pause. Then the AI responded. Match found. Subject. Dr. Elias Kale. Presumed dead 15 years ago. Lead scientist of the original Blacksky project. Voss felt a chill. She remembered the name. She remembered the scandal. Dr. Kale had vanished during a secret experiment involving alien tech. Everyone thought he was killed in an explosion. But now he was here, inside a Ulith ship, alive. And that changed everything. Rain got the update from Voss. He stood in silence. Kale, ... He muttered, that's not possible. One of his aides said, if they've had him all this time. Maybe that's how they learned to control our systems. Maybe he told them everything. Rain didn't answer. His mind raced. Had Kale been taken, brainwashed, or worse? ... Had he joined them? Back in orbit, the other Ulith ships moved into new positions. They stopped targeting military bases. Now, it turned toward population centers, cities, millions of people. Voss didn't wait. Arm all primary weapons, target ships 7 through 10. They start launching again, we hit them. Her crew obeyed, but something else was happening. The AI spoke again. Captain. Long-range scan detects new movement. A second wave. Ships emerging from dark space. Voss turned slowly. How many? Unknown. Estimate. 30 to 40 new signatures. Ulith origin confirmed. The bridge fell silent. This wasn't the invasion that had just started. This was the reinforcements. The real armada was arriving. Voss opened a secure line to Rain. We're outnumbered, massively. Rain replied, I know. That's why I activated Protocol Nightfall. She blinked. You're serious? He nodded. It's time the Ulith met all of Earth's hidden weapons. Voss smiled for the first time. Then let's give them a proper welcome. and deep beneath the earth in forgotten bunkers, frozen labs, and silent launch bays, dozens of hidden human war machines began to stir. The next battle would decide everything, and this time, humanity would strike first. The sky turned red at first. People thought it was a sunset, but it wasn't. All around the world. Clouds glowed with strange color. High above, Ulith warships blocked the sun. Their new wave of reinforcements, over 40 ships, had arrived, and now circled Earth like vultures. On every continent, people ran, prayed, and waited for death or a miracle. Inside Blacksky, Captain Aaron Voss watched the numbers on her screen climb. Enemy ships, 61. Active human defense systems, 9. She knew what that meant. She knew what came next. Can we stop them? Her XO, Lieutenant Damar, talked quietly. Aaron didn't answer right away. She looked out the window toward the blue planet she had sworn to protect. Then she said, "No, not with this ship alone. But we're not alone anymore." She tapped a control panel, and a deep rumble echoed across Blacksky. The hidden bays opened, and the defenders woke up. Protocol Nightfall wasn't just a bluff. It was Earth's last card. Deep underground, human-built war machines long thought destroyed, or illegal, were rising. Plasma titans from the Antarctica vaults, orbital cannons hidden inside Mars's shadow moons, cloaked fighter wings built from reverse-engineered alien tech, and one more. Something no one had ever seen in public. Sentinel Prime. A machine so powerful, it had been buried under the Pacific Ocean and forgotten in purpose. It rose now, piece by piece, water cascading from its surface, higher than a skyscraper. Its eyes lit up with pale blue fire. A voice echoed from within its massive chest. Sentinel Prime online. Threat level, extinction, initiating counteroffensive. General Rains stood at the command table watching as ancient systems blinked back to life. He turned to his officers. "We held these weapons back for decades because we were scared of what they'd do to us." He looked at the screens. Red dots everywhere. The world surrounded. But now, we're more scared of what they'll do to everyone. Global engagement protocols. Green target. Ulith invasion fleet authorized. Full force light M up, Rain said. The first human counterstrike hit with thunder. From orbit, hidden cannons fired solid beams of light into the Ulith swarm. Explosions rocked the upper atmosphere. 3 enemy ships cracked in half, burning. But they weren't weak. The Ulith responded, fast-firing plasma lances and dark matter burst toward every energy signature they could find. Cities trembled. Entire islands blinked off the grid. Still, Blacksky didn't move. Captain Voss held it steady, deep in stealth. Then a new alert. "Captain," the AI said. "Signal detected from the Nevada wreck site." Voss's eyes narrowed. "Patch it through." Voice came on. Weak, broken, but human. "Aaron, it's Elias. Dr. Kale, I know what they want." Her blood ran cold. Kale, still alive, speaking from inside the enemy ship. "They're not just here to conquer Earth. They're here to upload it." "What?" Voss asked. "The Ulith don't just take over. They digitize civilizations, absorb their minds, their history, their knowledge. Turn everything into a single hive." He coughed. "I tried to stop it. I built a failsafe, but it's in the Blacksky's core. Only you can activate it." Voss frowned. "Failsafe. Kale's." Voice grew quieter. "It's called Arcfire. It won't save Earth, but it might. Keep something human alive." Then silence, just static. Rain heard it too. His face twisted in thought. "Digitize the whole planet," he whispered. "They're not invaders. They're harvesters." He looked at the screen showing all remaining Ulith ships, slowly. Descending, their goal wasn't to kill, it was to overwrite, and Earth's time was almost up in space. A new sound echoed through Blacksky's halls. A signal. The Ulith had found them. Voss stood up. "They're coming." Damar looked scared. "Captain, If you use the failsafe if you launch Arcfire, it means we destroy this ship. I know. Then we'll die. I know. She walked slowly to the center console. This ship wasn't meant to survive, she said. It was meant to make sure something human did. She keyed in the failsafe. The ship began to glow. Arcfire would not destroy the Ulith, but it would burn all human knowledge, DNA and memory into a digital vault and launch it beyond the Ulith's reach. A seed. For whatever came next. But she had one last move before that. Target nearest Ulith ship. Target locked. Fire everything. The Blacksky blazed to life. Every weapon on board let loose. A barrage of pure human rage and resistance. The closest. Ulith's ship cracked apart. Voss smiled, and then the rest turned toward her. 30 ships, charging up. But she didn't run. She pressed one final key. Launch Arcfire. A bright core shot. Out from the ship, spinning fast, breaking orbit, carrying everything about Earth's people, their music, stories, science, strength, all of it. Then Blacksky was hit. The screen went white. General Rain stood quietly. No one said a word. The Arcfire signal blipped on the radar far away beyond enemy reach. They had lost the ship, but not the mission. Somewhere in deep space. A glowing capsule drifted between stars. Inside it, humanity's hope. The world was quiet. No news, no internet, no satellites. The sky was still full of the Ulith ships, black and cold above every major city. They didn't speak, they didn't fire, they just watched. People hid in silence, too afraid to move. They had seen Blacksky fall, they had heard the final broadcast. The warship, humanity's last symbol of strength, was gone. To most, it felt like the end, but at WASN, not yet. Underground. Beneath a forgotten mountain base, something was waking up, a backup system. One never meant to be used, lest everything else failed. Inside a sealed vault, in a black chamber filled with cold mist, a man opened his eyes. He gasped. Alarms blinked. Power came back online. He sat up slowly, confused. His name was Jace Harlana, former war pilot, declared dead 10 years ago. But in truth, he had been frozen here, hidden in Earth's last failsafe bunker. A voice spoke in the chamber. Revival. Complete. Subject, Jace Harlan. Status. Active. Mission, restart defense operations. Jace rubbed his temples. How long was I out? 9 years? 11 months? 4 days? He stood up, legs shaky. Lights flicked on around him. Screens. Showed Earth's condition, cities offline, governments silent, Ulith ships hovering, and one final image. The last message from Captain Erin Voss. Her face calm but serious. If you're seeing this, the Arcfire has launched. We failed, but you don't have to. You're Earth's last card now. Godspeed. Jace blinked. Didn't remember agreeing to this. But he wasn't going to run from it either. He suited up. Outside, the world had changed. Nature was taking over again. Without power, cities slowed. Some people fought over scraps, others stayed hidden. In silence, the Ulith never landed. They simply hovered, waiting, studying, a quiet invasion. But under the silence, something else stirred. The Arcfire seed, launched before Blacksky's destruction. It sent out a hidden return signal. It was looking for survivors, and it had found. 1. JACE. Now, the AI linked to Arcfire the last copy of human knowledge connected to him. He heard the voice in his helmet. Welcome back, Jace. Earth still has a chance. But we must act fast. Against that, he said, looking up at the ships above. Not alone. There are others. But they don't know where to find each other. You'll be the signal. You'll bring them back. He smiled faintly. All right, then. Let's give the galaxy one more surprise. Jace climbed into a buried hangar, where a single stealth fighter was hidden beneath layers of rock. It wasn't just any jet. It was Valkyrie, one a ship bonded to his neural link, the last of its kind. Sleek, black, fast and deadly. He powered it up. Engines rumbled underground. The moment it lit up, Thulith noticed. 3 nearby ships turned and began scanning the area. Time to move. Jace grabbed the controls, pushed hard, and launched straight through the roof. Stone exploded. Dust flew. The jet ripped into the sky, twisting fast. Dodging plasma blasts that tore through the clouds, he didn't shoot, he ran. He had to reach a satellite uplink, buried in Alaska, one of the few places untouched by the invasion grid. If he got there, he could reconnect the surviving human resistance cells. The mission: rebuild the chain. The Ulith followed him fast, but so was he. He ducked through mountain canyons, dived under cloud cover, skimmed oceans. Every second, the Arcfire AI calculated new flight paths. Finally, the signal lit up. Jace, you're close, 1 minute out. Then, a warning.
Multiple Ulith interceptors incoming.
If they reach the tower before you do, the signal dies. He grit his teeth. No pressure. He pushed Valkyrie 1 into overdrive. The engine screamed. He could see the tower now, an old, Cold War era communications rig, tall and jagged against the ice. But 2 Ulith drones got there first. They began charging their weapons. He had seconds. He hit the eject on his missile pod. One chance, he guided it by hand. Nerves wired into the system. At the last second, he released it. Direct hit the Ulith drones. Shattered. He landed the jet rough. Skidding across snow and metal, barely staying conscious, he limped to the tower, climbed the stairs, and slammed the uplink module into the core port. A green light blinked. Around the world, in bunkers and ruins, old resistance tech blinked back to life, and on distant screens. Survivors saw the same message. This is Jace Harlan. Earth still fights. Regroup at signal points. Prepare to rise. In the darkness, far above, the Ulith commanders saw the signal too, and for the first time, one of them spoke aloud. The humans resist again. The others turned, then begin the final phase. And, deep inside their largest ship, something ancient stirred, something that had not been awakened in 1,000 years. The true mind of the Ulith, and it had just noticed Jace. The sky cracked open. A dark tear in space formed above Earth, twisting like a wound. From it, something massive began to emerge, larger than cities, shaped like a floating cathedral of black bone and molten light. This wasn't just another Ulith ship. It was the core mind, the source of their hive, their leader, their final weapon. On the ground, Jace Harlan stood at the edge of the Alaska uplink tower, helmet off. It was wide. He had seen many things in war, but nothing like this. The core mind pulsed with red energy, and a deep inhuman voice echoed across the sky. Human anomaly. You resist beyond probability. This is inefficient. Prepare for full integration. Jace clenched his fists. Integration this, he muttered. He turned back to the tower console where the Arcfire AI was transmitting Earth's surviving signals. Are we online? Yes. Resistance cells. Reporting from over 23 zones. The people are listening. He didn't hesitate, then give them hope. Around the globe, in dusty bunkers, ruined cities, jungle camps, underwater domes, old radios, and cracked holograms came to life. Jace's voice rang out across all channels. This is Jace Harlan, pilot of Valkyrie 1. The core mind is here, but so are we. This is not the end. This is our line in the dirt. If you're hearing this, you're part of the resistance now. Power up your systems. Launch your fighters. Wake up your AI guardians. It's time for Earth to punch back. Earth did all at once, like a planet waking up from a nightmare. Deep sea cannons rose from the ocean floor. Sleeper mechs walked again through ruined streets. Spacecraft hidden in asteroid belts turned and fired. Civilian networks hacked enemy drones. Old enemies, pirates, outlaws, black ops joined forces. Goal: survive. The resistance was imperfect, underpowered, desperate, but human, and it was enough. In orbit, the core mind extended tendrils of data across the Earth's networks, trying to overwrite everything: AI, language, memories, culture, a digital plague, but it hit a wall. The Arcfire firewall activated by Aaron. Voss before her death flared up. Inside Arcfire. Humanity's data, their stories, DNA, languages, and spirit fought back. For every file the Ulith tried to erase, 10 more burned brighter. They couldn't delete the soul of a species, not without a fight. Back in the air, Jace launched once. Again, Valkyrie 1 soared into orbit, engines glowing, weaving between enemy fire. This time, he wasn't alone. Hundreds of resistance ships rose from Earth's surface, old and new, some barely held together. Some never tested in real war. They didn't care, they flew anyway. Jace opened, comes. All wings, this is Harlan. Let's target the core mine's central eye. We take that out, we break the hive. Copy that, Valkyrie leader. The battle began. The sky burned. Fighters danced between beams of energy and black plasma storms. Launched from orbit into enemy holes, tearing ships apart from within. Civilian hackers scrambled Ulith code mid-transmission. Turning drones against their own fleet, Jace flew faster than he ever had, dodging a dozen death beams per second. The core mine targeted him personally, now its voice ringing through. Every system, you are flawed. You are emotional. You are doomed. He fired a barrage of missiles. Yeah, but I'm still here. His HUD lit up, his shields almost gone, but then a signal. Not from Earth. From deep space. A ghost signal. Blacksky. The Arcfire capsule. Had reached someone, and they were answering. Out of a wormhole came a ship. Not human. Not you. Single quotes. Something. New, sleek, bright, covered in the earth. Emblem dot, built by someone who had found the Arcfire. A voice came through. To the humans of Earth, we received your flame. We honor your fight. And we now return the favor, engaging hostile fleet. Fired. Beams of blue energy sliced across the core mine's body, cracking the outer shell. Jace saw the opportunity. This is it. He locked missiles. A final run. Straight toward the core mine's eye. Plasma lit the sky. One wing blown off. Shields gone. Hull melting. He pushed harder. Come on, Valkyrie. Just a little more. The core mine screamed. We are eternal, and then Jace fired everything. The core mine exploded in a roar of red and white light, pure energy flooding the sky like a new sun. Silence then. Cheers across every radio. Earth was still standing in the Ulith. Broken, their hive disconnected. Ships falling from orbit. Shutting down, retreating into space. The invasion was over. Later, Jace stood on a hill overlooking a ruined but free Earth. Beside him, a young girl held a homemade flag. Others gathered. Rebuilding, planting, laughing. The voice of Arcfire whispered in his ear, "You gave them time. You gave them hope." He smiled. "No," he said, "we did." High above, in orbit, the last enemy ship drifted into the sun, and Earth tired. Scarred, Proud looked up again, ready for whatever came next.